In a previous video, I've mentioned that I'm half black and half white, and I consider myself to be just as much black as I am white, and vice versa. So, hearing so many people weigh in on whether or not they think Kamala Harris is black has been really interesting to me. You don't have to do much of a deep dive to find out that her dad is of Afro-Jamaican descent. And he looks like a guy who's of Afro-Jamaican descent. Granted, he is very light-skinned. And Kamala Harris's mother is Indian, so she is black and she's Indian. Now, with that being said, I don't think Kamala Harris should have ever involved Quavo or Megan Thee Stallion in her campaign. I think doing stuff like that is what's actually rubbing people the wrong way. And I personally don't think a rapper should ever be involved with a political campaign that is going to have a huge effect on our future. This is a rapper who is constantly promoting gun violence, and he's supposed to be our champion for the Democratic Party. And what does twerking have anything to do with politics? I saw one person comment, "This reminds me of a Boondocks episode." If a performance by Megan Thee Stallion and Quavo is enough to influence somebody's vote, do we really even want that person voting? The Boondocks is definitely in my top 5 favorite shows of all time, and Huey Freeman in a way is like my spirit animal. I've spent a lot of time exposing conspiracies and injustices committed against the black community, like the Tuskegee experiments, exposing the for-profit privatized prison system.
Oh, you know about that? Tell me what you know about that. Tell me what you think about that.
The prison industrial complex is a system situated at the intersection of government and private interests. It uses prisons as a solution to social, political, and economic problems. It includes human rights violations, the death penalty, slave labor, policing, courts, the media, political prisoners, and the elimination of dissent.
Nigga, did you just say what I was trying to say, but smarter? I like this little nigga.
But my whole life, I've always been accused of not being black or not sounding black enough. And while I can agree talking about race the way I am is silly, it's all I've ever known my entire life. This race topic has surrounded me for as long as I can remember. I think years ago, people saw the blending of races as a way to end racism, but I think at the time, nobody really imagined what kind of new hurdles that would produce for a mixed race person like me, for example. And this is a great segue for me with occult knowledge to discuss how black is not the best term we could be using for ourselves. The word black has a lot of negative connotations, and the word white has a lot of positive connotations. With the word black, for example, we have associations like the Black Plague, black ice. Black represents death and decay. The Black Knight was always the evil knight. The White Knight was always the savior knight. Black magic is bad magic. White magic is the quote unquote good magic. White has always stood for purity. And the words that we use to describe ourselves matter. I think there's going to be a lot more scientific studies in the future, but everything is vibration, everything is frequency. And we have struggled over the last 100 years or so to describe ourselves. We've gone from the N-word to the term colored, which fell out of favor during the Jim Crow time period. And now we're using this term black to describe us, which I think is not the best word at all. Positive affirmations have become a big thing lately. And so I would ask my audience and whoever is listening, could referring to yourself as black be a negative affirmation? I truly do think that being given this word to run with is in a way a psyop, because I also firmly believe it's very possible that like the Aboriginals of Australia, there probably were very dark-skinned people with Afro features already here in America whenever Christopher Columbus or whoever discovered it. And so there's so many things that we could be called. We could be called natives, for example. Some people call us the original Hebrews. Melanated people. Melanin is a very powerful, wonderful thing, but out of all the words that we could be using to describe ourselves, we've settled on black, which is a very negative word. I mean, it's just all around the world. All around the world, it has negative connotations. Even Norwegian black metal is literally demonic metal music. So I really do think that there's something to what I'm saying here. If you agree with me, or even if you don't agree with me, please leave a comment. Please subscribe. My channel's in kind of a weird state right now. Ever since I've been back, I can tell YouTube has changed so much over the last 4 or 5 years. I'm not getting a lot of traction. So please please share if you want to share. God bless. Have a great day.